many in Canada should chill out a bit about the fact that Donald Trump is going to be president again. Most Americans voted for him. I don't think some of the hysteria that we saw on CBC tonight is going to be helpful at all for Canada.
You're talking about the propaganda campaign and the playbook of Trump. This is not new. This is not surprising. This is directly out of Hitler's playbook. This is out of an autocrat playbook. This is...
So look, I think these people say these words to just sound smart, but that's very irresponsible. I don't know if this person is associated directly with CBC or they're just some person that they brought on a panel, but it's just not helpful. That's such a bizarre comparison. I know people in America have made that comparison as well, but that's not helpful. It's not true. It's ridiculous. And there were other comments made on CBC tonight that just, this is not the correct approach. I think Canada just needs to grow up a little bit in general and just deal with the fact he's going to be president. We're going to have to deal with it in a good way. We're going to have to get along with him as good as we can. And yeah.
I was interested in what you said about some people will be comforted when he's surrounded by someone like Elon Musk. I'm not sure that lands as a comforting thing everywhere, especially, I would think, in the United States with Musk's relationship with defense contracts in the U.S., but also his relationship with Russia and China and connections. That has to be complicated.
Well, I mean, Elon Musk is like undeniably the greatest entrepreneur of our time. I don't know why Elon Musk's connection to Donald Trump would be anything but positive. And I don't connections to Russia. What does he know some people in Russia? Or connections to China? What does he have a plant there to build electric cars? I mean, he's clearly like a global businessman. He's going to have connections to a bunch of different countries. I don't understand the point. I just think these points are not very serious. It's just Canada, just chill. I think Trump in a lot of ways will be a dose of reality for Canada. Canada can't just be this vibe fest. We have to compete economically. I mean, not every, like, Trump might want to do things that necessarily aren't the greatest for Canada, but we're going to have to adapt and then, like, come back. In all likelihood, I mean, I don't know exactly, but I think we have a chance to become stronger economically because of Trump. We'll adapt to his policies, which I'll go over in a second here, but here's some more just, I don't think, helpful language about Donald Trump's re-election or the chance of it. I think at this point they didn't know.
Yeah, Shachi, there's just so much about this election. When you break it down piece by piece, it's bonkers to imagine, like, Trump is running, he may win tonight, but his vice president from the last time is not voting for him. He's also out on bail and has a sentencing hearing in New York later this month. And these are like issues 20 and 30, you know, of this election because of just the way it's been. What do you mean? What do you, yeah, exactly.
So again, like, it's bonkers. Just, we just need to accept this. Getting onto this, Trump is so crazy. By the way, the hysteria, like, sort of doom and gloom fear mongering thing, I don't think is going to work. It's his second time being in office. I don't think people are going to buy it this time. We got to deal with it. And it is what it is. And here's another one of, again, I don't think very helpful.
Together you came to the conclusion that, well, when you're in your home and you smell smoke, you stick your head out the window to see if your neighbor's house is burning down. So the neighbors are up to something. And so that's why, as Canadians, we care very deeply to figure out, is something on fire, Rosie?
Yeah, not yet, but that's what we're watching for with great interest, obviously, in this country. This is, after our federal and provincial elections, the most consequential election for this country. And that's because what is at stake? And what is at stake tonight is something.
So I don't know if they're referring to just the election, if that's Trump winning, if that's like a callback to January 6th, but I don't know if that's the way we should be talking about our biggest trading partner. And by the way, America, like, helps us a ton. Canada benefits so much from America's leadership on the global stage and America's powerful military. I mean, we benefit so much from that. Not that we have to, like, we can't criticize them. We don't have to be, like, so scared to say anything negative about America. It's just, we got to work with them, and we got to work with Donald Trump now. And I'm going to show, this is a great example, I think, of actually a way that it can help Canada. We have to be more serious in Canada about economic growth. The vibes fest, like I said, all the focus on like the recent decision to cap our carbon emissions. I mean, we have an entire generation of people in Canada that can't afford to live, can't afford homes. We got to be focused on that way 1,000 times more. This carbon emission stuff to be competitive in the global marketplace, it's not going to cut it. And I think Donald Trump getting in, I mean, watch the difference in Trump's view about oil and Canada's view about oil.
Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, go have a good time, Bobby. We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be...
So he's talking about RFK Jr. there, basically saying that RFK Jr. can go work on health, making America healthy again, but basically that Trump wants to, like, as he always says, drill, baby, drill, because RFK Jr. is like an environmental lawyer in the past. But listen to Canada's take on this. I mean, there's going to be a lot of tension. Canada needs the economy, which I'll show in a second, to grow.
I'm proud to introduce Canada's draft regulations to cap pollution from the oil and gas sector.
Bruh. Again, Canada needs economic growth so much more than this. This is very irresponsible in my view. Again, there's an entire generation of Canadians that, like, the median person between the age of 20 and 40 can't live the American or the Canadian dream right now. That's very sad. You have to very much out-earn your peers or have rich relatives to help you. Or if you, like, there's still a few smaller cities in the country that you can flee to if you can work there, but they're running out. Like, the housing crisis is getting nationwide. Alberta, Atlantic Canada, it's spreading. And, I mean, America is going to get to work. They're going to go hard at cutting regulations with Donald Trump. It's going to be very much a pro-growth economy. And look how we measure up to America in terms of GDP per capita. We got our top ones here. Again, a lot of these don't even, but Yukon, Nunavut, and Northwest Territories, which that's great, but not many people live there. Then look at America, America, America. Alberta's in there. Saskatchewan's in there. And look, most of our country is way down here. Newfoundland, British Columbia, Ontario, Quebec, those three, Quebec, Ontario, British Columbia, represents around 70-ish% of the country. We're like objectively so much poorer than America, and it doesn't make sense. We have so many of the same advantages that America has. We have relatively good infrastructure, relatively good institutions compared to, like, the rest of the world. We have great stuff. We have a very advantageous global position. We have these massive oceans separating us from potential enemies. I mean, we shouldn't be growing this much slower than America. And with Trump in there, we can't keep getting pushed. We already are at the bottom. We can't the gap can't be so massive that all of our Canadian companies just go, we got to go to America. So I think it's going to force Canada to adapt, I hope, in a positive way, to have more of an economic growth focus, which I've made the point, like, that hardly comes up in Canada's question period. I noticed today, thankfully, is being discussed, so shout out to the Conservatives. But anyway, I'll finish the video here. I just think Canada, Trump is going to be the president. It'll be fine. Let's just relax. Let's figure out how to deal with it. I mean, I say it'll be fine. No one knows the future, but very well, he has a very good chance of being better than Kamala would be. And just some people in Canada are fine with Trump. Some people like Trump. Let's all accept that. Some people don't like Trump. Let's accept that too. If you're someone that's pro-Trump in Canada and you know people that don't like Trump, just have understanding. It's just talk to each other. It's fine. We'll figure out a way, hopefully, like our leaders, to work with Trump in a positive way. But with that said, I'll finish the video here, but thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.